Knowledge is power. Make an impact by learning more. Call us right now for more help at 866-945-8070. So we've spent a bunch of time getting stuff set up. The beauty, of course, is you only have to do that once. You know, a little bit of tweaking here and there going forward. But what I've found in my experience, as a very general rule, is that the more front-loaded something is, the better the process is likely to be down the road as you go on, right? If I just go into something and start winging it and entering transactions in QuickBooks Online, I'm probably not involved in a process that's going to be efficient in the long run. In other words, there's usually some upfront work required to get systems set up so that you can get things done real efficiently. And now we're at that point where we're about to see the magic happen. So the instructions here in the template show you exactly how to get the report that you need from your Amazon account. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate this online because it would require going into a client's account, which for obvious reasons I'm not going to do. So, but here are the instructions. It's pretty straightforward. When you log into your Amazon seller account, you go to reports and then payments. You go to all statements. To find the report you want, you choose download flat file V2 or find the report you want, meaning the settlement period, right? I should put that in here. And then there's going to be a few different file types. So the one you want is this one, the flat file V2. And then now you're about to see in the video what I'm referring to here where it says see video. This is the video, right? So let's do this. We're going to go File, and we're going to go Open. And I'm going to go to Browse to the file, right? So it's in the current folder. And down here I have to choose All Files because the download from Amazon is going to be a text file, right? It's going to look like this. Right, there's also a specific option here, so you don't have to, if you have a lot of files in the folder, if you just choose text files, you'll see it. Okay, so we're going to choose that, and it's going to bring up this dialog. What you'll want here is delimited. Don't worry about what all this means, just follow the instructions. That's all you really need to know. Right, so you're going to stick with delimited as the choice. You go next. As long as you see that everything's organized in columns like this now, then you're pretty well assured that it's good to go. Just click Finish. And it actually opens it up in a new file. So here's all you need to do at this point. We're starting off right here at A1. Control-Shift down arrow. Control-Shift right arrow selects everything. Control-C to copy. I'm going to use my Alt-Tab to tab over to the template. We're going to go to the second tab here where it says Settlement Report. And we're going to right-click. And we're going to paste values here. Okay, that preserves the formatting, and I purposely had you copy the headers so that you can confirm that it all lines up perfectly, right? And your settlement report should end right here at column X. These next two columns are columns that I've built into the template that are looking up the information that we're going to need next. So getting it into the template, now that we've got the setup process done, is really quick and simple. Right? You may want to just jump down to the end, make sure that somehow the size of your settlement report didn't go past the template. If it did, you can just copy and paste these down. Okay, but now we're ready to go to the settlement summary, which is a pivot table that I've already configured. So you don't have to know anything about pivot tables. All you have to know how to do is how to follow directions. Real simple. Make sure that your cell pointer is somewhere on the pivot table so that these options here are visible. Okay, and then click over here under Analyze and click Refresh, and boom, as quickly as you can click Refresh, here is your settlement report organized in a way that you can actually understand. Right, here are all your sales, your Amazon sales, the quantity sold for each of these items, and the dollar amount. Okay, then here we have Amazon shipping, Amazon commission, restocking fee, goodwill, inventory removal, right? Some of these are just fees. There's no quantity associated, right? Then we have inventory adjustments. They give it to you broken down by item. I don't care. We're not going to adjust it by item. That's a little crazy, right? So if we collapse this section, you'll see that you're just going to, and these are adjustments in our favor. It probably means that they lost things or what have you, right? Amazon handling fees. And this is it. So what's going to happen is, if I actually go up here and I just say, I right-clicked, I want to say collapse entire field, Usually that's the first thing I do because the only one where I care about the detail is the sales, right? But you can see everything we sold, $127,000 worth of merchandise. Here's all the fees they took. This is no joke. This is based on a real settlement report for a real client where I just swapped out the items with the items that we're using in this example. So this is what Amazon takes, right? They gave you back money for a restocking fee, probably for returns or something. Goodwill, whatever that means. The reserve, so again, it's positive, so they're releasing money out of the reserve and giving it to us. Inventory adjustments, their handling fees. This is the amount that you will see to the penny that got deposited into the bank account. This will work every time. Now, one thing I want to show you. Notice here we have an item that shows up with 0 for the item. This means that something new appeared on the report. So here's how you can troubleshoot this. And I obviously put this in here on purpose so that I could show you how to troubleshoot stuff. So the first thing you can do is you can, just like in QuickBooks, you can double click the number to get at the details and see where this came from. Now, again, don't worry too much about understanding all this. This is a total, but you're going to want to scroll down and over so you can see exactly where it's coming from, and then we can page up slowly, or we can go all the way up. So here is where it is. So here's $20, right? And we have this amount type is other transaction. Amount description is unplanned service fee, barcode label missing. So this is a new item. This is, I said in the beginning that I don't anticipate having too many new items showing up. But here we did receive a new one. So I mentioned that I was going to show you. I did already explain to you how to do it in theory. Now we're going to see exactly how to update something like this. So because we want all this to be itemized properly, we don't want anything sticking out like that. And if it showed up now, it's likely going to show up again sometime. So we want to include it, right? So let's go to our Amazon fees. And by the way I just got that drop-down menu is over here, these arrows, which are designed to scroll the list of tabs across the bottom. If you right-click them, you just get the list. And we want to go to Amazon fees. Okay, and like I said earlier, it doesn't matter where. I can paste the values. I already pressed Control-C to copy it from the other tab. Right, and then a barcode label missing and a service fee. I'm not going to create something new for that. Alt down arrow gives me the list of anything that Excel sees in the other, in the rest of the column. And let's just call this handling fees. Again, you might want to do something specific. I don't care. I don't want to get bogged down too much in details. I want to know that I have enough information to be able to determine what I sold on Amazon and what it cost me to sell that stuff on Amazon. I don't care too much about what happened in between. Just the basic high-level stuff, what we're shipping, what is Amazon charging me, and so on and so, for things like this. So when I put that back in, I can actually, this is the sheet it created when I double click the number from the pivot table. We can actually delete this. There's no reason to keep it. Okay, back to the settlement report, actually back to the settlement summary. Pivot table, analyze. Again, make sure this is selected. If you click outside of the pivot table area, those options go away. So you've got to be here. We're looking for this to get replaced now with what we just updated it with, right? So we're going to go to analyze. We're going to hit refresh. Boom. Sure enough, 2075.23. This is still here. It's going to show up with 0. You're going to see that because you're always going to have a few line items here that have zeros in them. So it's seeing them there, so it includes them. But obviously, it has no impact on anything. So, my friends, that is how you get your Amazon settlement report into the template. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to prep the sales part, which is just this section here, for import using our tool. Keep in mind, I'm using just a handful of products as an example. When I do this for a real life client, this can be 150 line items long. The point being, this is not something you're going to want to enter manually. This is something you're going to want to know how to import into QuickBooks Online. And that's what I'm going to show you next in the next lesson, how to prep for the import. And then in the lesson after that, I'm going to show you how to actually do the import. And then there's going to be a couple of other little things to do before the sales receipt that we'll create with this information is truly final.